Trauma unexamined becomes tradition. Fear unchallenged becomes fate. You either rewrite the loop or you pass it down. That line is the whole game. It's the seed, the DNA code, the cosmic algebra. And if you get this, you'll feel it ripple back through your past and forward through your future. Think of trauma like a splinter. If you don't pull it out, it festers. You limp, you walk funny. Your kids watch you limp, and they start limping too. Not because they've got a splinter, but because they learned. That's how we walk in this family. That's how trauma becomes tradition. Fear. Fear's like mold in a basement. Ignore it and it spreads, unchallenged. It becomes the architecture of your house. You think it's the walls that keep you safe, but really, it's the rot that keeps you trapped. When you were a kid, maybe you fell off your bike. First time you cried, second time, you braced yourself. Third time you said, screw it, I can ride. See, you rewrote the loop. Fear got challenged. It became confidence. You've already done this 1,000 times. But sometimes, instead of rewriting, you copied the file. You watched your dad shut down when he was angry, so you learned silence is safer than expression. You saw your mum apologise for things that weren't her fault, so you learned guilt is the price of love. That's the unexamined trauma sneaking into your hard drive. So how can you do this in new ways? Zoom out, like you're looking from space. Ask, if I don't break this pattern, what's the generational movie that plays out? Imagine your grandkids still apologising for things that aren't their fault because you didn't flip the script. Zoom into the details one tiny moment today. You catch yourself about to shut down, about to limp, about to rot in fear, and right there you insert a pattern interrupt. Say something different, do something different. Even whisper. Not this time. That's you building a new neural highway, brick by brick. So why is this so important? Neural pathways, they're like hiking trails. The more you walk them, the clearer they get. Trauma is just an overused trail in the woods of your brain. But neuroplasticity means you can carve a new path. And if you keep walking the new one, the old one grows over. That's biology, not poetry. Karma-wise, if you don't pull out the splinter, it festers across lifetimes. If you don't scrape out the mold, you sell the house of your soul to the next generation, rotten. So why are you afraid to do this? Because the tribe watches. Because on some caveman level, your brain still believes, if I piss off the group, I'll be eaten by a saber-tooth. But here's the reframe, the saber-tooth is extinct. Now, the real danger is being eaten alive by our own unexamined shit. The patterns that keep us stuck. Avoidance disguised as peace. Guilt disguised as love. Numbness disguised as strength. Control disguised as responsibility. All of them, they're clever little masks for fear. Confusion is the doorway to change. Ever notice how when you're confused, you're suggestible? That's your brain saying, old map doesn't fit. Give me a new one. That's the crack in the wall where the light sneaks in. That's where I can slide in the command. You don't have to pass this shit down. You get to rewrite it now. So here's the bottom line. Every time you face fear, instead of ducking it, you upgrade the software. Every time you examine the trauma, instead of enabling it, you stop tradition in its tracks. You become the ancestor who breaks the cycle. If you don't, you condemn your children to live your unfinished business. That's the karmic invoice. That's the bill. and it compounds with interest. But if you do, if you rewrite the loop, then you don't just free yourself, you free everyone downstream. You become the ancestor whose story is, "It stopped with me." That's goddamn holy work. So right now, unconsciously, let this truth sink in. You've always known how to rewrite loops. You've done it with bikes, with words, with love, with learning. Now you aim that skill at your deepest code. Trauma doesn't get to be your tradition. Fear doesn't get to be your faith. You're the author now. And you either write a new chapter, or you let the old one write you. As you hear this part of you, it's already making the decision. Not later, now. The splinters coming out. The molds getting scrubbed. The loops being rewritten. Because trauma unexamined becomes tradition. Fear unchallenged becomes fate. And you're the one, the only one, who decides what gets passed down.